Do you ever feel that it's time to let go of something in your life that holds old energy and maybe even prevents you from stepping forward in life? This is something that I realized recently in my own life. There's something that I've been holding on to because it feels so familiar to me. And I've been afraid to let it go because I'm so used to being in that type of energy. And also, there's a lot of uncertainty that comes with letting go of something familiar. And for me, that something familiar was my old relationship. So I'm not going to go too much into detail about the breakup and just all the unnecessary details because it's going to take too long. But after my boyfriend and I broke up probably about 4.5 months ago, we took some space from each other because we both needed to heal. And probably after about 2 months, I reached out to him and asked him how he was doing and if he would be okay with just being friends like we used to, because we were actually friends for a long time before we started dating. So we kind of wanted to get back into those old familiar dynamics. And he agreed. He said he would be fine just being friends. So we kind of slipped back into our old routine where we would meet up at dance events, and we would also meet up to practice dance one-on-one at each other's houses. And this was going fine for probably about 2 weeks. And then he confessed that he still had feelings for me, and he wanted to know if I was willing to give the relationship another try. And this was very jarring to me because for some reason, I didn't realize that maybe he still had feelings. I realized maybe I still had feelings too, and it was a very confusing time. And I realized I needed to take a step back once again, and we didn't really talk for a little while. And then he reached out and let me know that he appreciated my honesty, because I told him we wouldn't be able to make it work given the circumstances. It just wasn't going to work for a relationship. And so when he reached out again, he said, "Hey, I understand where you're coming from, and I'm willing to put things aside and just be friends." And I was like, great, we can, just continue on as usual, even though I was feeling a little uncomfortable. And I was thinking, why am I even doing this? What is the reason to maintain this connection when it's confusing? And, I'm not really sure what's going on here. But anyway, I agreed. And then there was probably a week that went by where I didn't hear from him. And I thought, well, maybe he got in a new relationship, and maybe this is where we naturally just don't see each other as much. Maybe we see each other once a month at a dance event. But this is kind of what naturally happens when your friends get in a relationship. You just don't really see them as much. And I was okay with that. And in fact, I was kind of relieved because I was thinking, well, maybe this is how things are supposed to be. Maybe we're not really supposed to be in contact so much like we were. And then yesterday, my ex reached out, and he said he's been really busy, but then all of a sudden he was piling all the stuff on me. He wanted to go all these places with me and practice dance and meet up. And it was really overwhelming. It was just a lot of information to take in. And the other piece to this whole thing is I just went on a first date a week ago with this really nice guy. And we're just taking things really slow, getting to know each other. But what I noticed with that new guy is so far I feel really grounded and calm with him. And this is something that I haven't really experienced with dating before. I'm used to feeling a lot of anxiety and being around people that are inconsistent with their energy. But this guy was just so calm to be around. He was very pleasant. He's willing to go at my pace, and we have a lot of the same values. And he's just such a gentleman. He just makes me feel really peaceful. So the reason why I'm bringing up this piece is because I'm trying to get to know this new guy. And there's the potential for a relationship at some point. I'm not in a rush, but it could be that we may start a relationship later on down the road. And so I had to ask myself, does it really make sense for me to be sticking my feet in both worlds? To be introducing this new energy into my life where I feel really grounded and I feel like it's safe to be me. And then the other world where I'm spending time with my ex and it's confusing and I'm feeling really activated. I'm feeling like my nervous system is activated around him and I don't know how to act and I don't know just how to be. So what happened was my ex had called me last night and we talked and caught up, and he asked me if anything new has been going on in my life. And somehow I just couldn't bring myself to tell him that I am seeing someone new. I said everything that's been going on with me except that part. And then when we had made plans to meet up for dance and I hung up the phone, I realized I made a mistake. And I thought, I need to tell my ex the truth, that I'm seeing someone new, and I need to create space in my life for this new guy. And also, I think I've been holding on to something that is just not really there anymore. The connection that I've had with my ex, where we used to hang out all the time and it felt normal, it's just not really me anymore. I think him and I are just really, we're just not as connected as we were, and I think he feels it too. And so I did end up calling him again, and I did tell him that I'm seeing someone new, and that because I'm cultivating this new relationship with someone else, I don't feel it's appropriate for me to be spending time one-on-one with other men. I told my ex, I don't mind, I can still dance with him at dance events. We could still see each other there, but I don't want to be going over to each other's houses and getting into this comfortable situation that we used to be in, because things have changed. Things have changed for both of us. And he was actually really understanding, and he just wished me the best, and we kind of just left it at that. We'll just see each other when we see each other, but we won't be intentionally creating one-on-one time. And after I hung up, I felt a mixture of emotions. I felt a little sad, honestly, because again, this is something that's been familiar. It's been a constant in my life for a long time. This guy and I have been friends for going on 2 years, and we've always been pretty close. But with that bit of sadness also came a feeling of relief, because I knew that I've been trying to let go of this connection for a while now and trying to move forward into energy that just feels better. And there's nothing wrong with my ex. The way that he is, he's actually a really great guy. But it just turned out that we just simply weren't compatible for a relationship. You can be really good friends with somebody and have that type of chemistry that makes it seem like a relationship could work, but sometimes it just doesn't, because of a difference in lifestyle, because of a difference in values. And that's okay. That's what I discovered with us. And the other thing is, sometimes when you date somebody and then you break up, the dynamics change. Sometimes things just can't go back to the way they were. And sometimes they're just not supposed to. And this is not about intentionally cutting my ex out of my life. I don't ever want to cut anybody out of my life. But there's a difference between allowing a friendship to form and it feels comfortable, and trying to force a connection that is simply not there anymore. And again, I've been feeling this for a while. I think just ever since the breakup, my ex and I have just been drifting apart. And I think that we've both been really trying to preserve something that has, it's already, trying to think of the right word, it's kind of already run its course. And so when you try really hard to keep something in your life that is evolving, it's just changing, and it's not meant to stay the same, then you can oftentimes feel this kind of pain within you because you're trying to grasp for something that's just not really there anymore. And life is about just staying in motion. Life is always moving. Life is moving forward. And if we try to stay in energy that is not resonating with us anymore, it can keep us really stuck in our old ways, and it can prevent us from seeing what is in front of us, which is something that is oftentimes more aligned with this new energy we're stepping into. So, for example, for myself, I have been so used to being in these kind of relationships where my nervous system is activated. I'm feeling really anxious. I'm feeling like I don't know what's going on. I don't know if this person is willing to commit to me. I don't know if it's safe to be myself. A lot of questions and a lot of just uncertainty. And so since I've been experiencing that for probably the majority of my dating life for years now, I finally realized that I'm really tired of feeling that way. And how I actually want to feel is I want to feel really safe to show up as all I am and make requests in a relationship, ask for changes, and to have my partner willing to listen to me, willing to meet me halfway, and invite me to show up as all that I am. That's so important to me. I want to be able to ask for what I want in a relationship and be with someone who really values the same things as me, because to me, that's what a peaceful relationship looks like. And I am prioritizing peace in my life more than I have in years. I used to chase chemistry. I used to chase situations and people that could not meet me halfway, and it was an anxiety thing. I was really drawn to the anxiety aspect of it because that's what I was used to. I didn't know anything else. Now that I'm allowing myself to step into this place where I feel peaceful, I do things in my life that bring out the peace in me, like being out on the trail, being out here in nature. This evokes so much gratitude and peace within me. And this is the exact feeling that I want to experience in a healthy relationship. So by doing things like this, going out in nature, connecting to myself in an intentional way, and also being mindful of my self-talk and recognizing that sometimes I make mistakes and it's okay because this is how I learn. Having grace for myself when I mess up. Again, that's exactly how I want to be treated in a relationship. I want someone who's going to listen with the intention of understanding me, and also just someone who brings out the best version of me. So the reason why I brought up this whole story is because I'm hoping that it will help inspire you. If there's something in your life that you feel like it's expired, that energy is just not something that you're drawn to anymore, if you can have the courage to let it change into whatever it will change into. And it's okay to feel sad about it. It's okay to have these emotions around it. Sometimes that happens when we let go of something that's been familiar to us for so long. We can feel that sense of that ache, like we want it back. We want to continue on as usual. And sometimes our soul just has other plans. Our soul wants to evolve. Our soul wants to be on this journey of just discovering more of who we are and also realizing what is no longer serving us. So I think a good place to start with this is to do a writing practice and ask yourself, is there anything in your life that maybe it once worked for you, maybe it was once helpful to you in some way, And now you look at it and you just don't feel the way you used to. It doesn't feel good anymore. And maybe you're having anxiety about it, and it's causing you more stress than peace. And I just want to say that if this is about another person, maybe a relationship or a friendship, I am not suggesting that you just cut somebody out of your life. I think that these things can just fall away naturally. And what happens when you do release the old energy, now the universe can actually send you something new. Because you can't really create anything from old energy, because it's just going to be more of the same. But if you allow things to unfold naturally and things to just gradually fall away, the universe is always listening. So the universe is going to pick up on you now, you being open to the new energy, and the universe is going to start sending you some wonderful experiences that are in alignment with this new self that you're cultivating. And I'm actually going to link a worksheet that you can fill out. It's a PDF, and it'll just be questions on where you're at in your life, what's something you might want to let go of, and then these will be prompts helping you to understand what your next steps are with this. So you can download that. I'll have that in the description of this video. And I'm going to start wrapping up the video here because it is getting a little long. And if there's anything I left out, then I can always make a part 2, or you guys can always ask me in the comments. But in closing, I do want to say that you are stronger than you think. You can handle these changes that are coming into your life right now. And anything that's feeling odd and anything that you feel is shifting and changing, it's all good. This is all good stuff. And you might not be able to see it right away. But if you will just allow for life to unfold and keep moving towards energy that feels good to you, then you're going to feel so much better. And you won't be so hung up on those things that used to stress you out and that you used to worry about. So thank you so much for being here with me today. This has been such a lovely walk, and it really is just the perfect day for filming. So I'm so happy you all got to see this, all the beautiful scenery around me. And I hope that you are having a wonderful day yourself, and stay tuned for more videos, because on this channel I talk about things like law of attraction, manifestation, dating advice, and stepping into a greater version of you. So again, thank you for being here with me. I appreciate you all, and I'll see you next time.